Hi everyone, it's Matt and Liz here, and today we want to talk to you about how buying websites for passive income works.
And most people don't even realize that this exists, that you can actually do this. And so we want to go into a bit more detail about what's involved and answer some of the common questions that we get when someone first hears that, hey, we invest in websites, in these passive income websites. The first question is, okay, what's that and how does that work?
And if you haven't heard about us before, we invest in websites, we're also angel investors, and we're educators in this digital economy space. And we specialize in teaching beginners, maybe like yourself, to getting online, replacing your incomes, and in particular though, building up a portfolio of websites.
So what we want to do in this video is just open your eyes to what's possible out there, show you some of the opportunities that are available and what we are doing, and also our graduates. So like Mark, who's just recently hit a really big milestone in this. So he started out with zero online technical knowledge, and he's been with us in just under a year. He actually replaced his income and hit $10,000 a month from his website portfolio. So we want to show you how these people are doing that. So it's not just us, it's our graduates as well, and how they're doing that and how they're using their skills as well to create full-time active incomes in the digital space. So let's get into it. I think the first question is, all right, well, how does this work? How do you actually make passive income out of this digital economy and websites and all that stuff? Because I think most people, when they first get online and think, okay, I want to make some income online from home using my computer on the internet, the first thing they normally think of is e-commerce, is selling stuff online, whether it's through Shopify or Amazon FBA or starting a little online store or Etsy and all those kind of things. Now, that is not what we do. It's actually as far from what we do as possible, because we do not own any stock. We never sell send a product or handle refunds or returns, because what we do is actually we own and buy websites that provide information. So we answer people's questions. We help them make buying decisions. We give them good quality information. And then the monetization actually comes from advertisers or us referring them through to people where they can buy a particular product. So you
could think of it as like an online billboard. It's online real estate, but basically imagine a crowded street and a retail street, and there's all the Amazons and the Shopifys selling all the products, and then here we are with our website, which is kind of like an online billboard, and we're selling advertising space.
Yeah, so it's a very, very leveraged strategy, and one that I think most people don't kind of realize is possible. And we're seeing now, I mean, we've been in this for 10, 12 years, and it's interesting now we're seeing these big corporate buyers come into this space because they've realized how powerful this model actually is.
Because one of the big things that they're interested in is we can get very targeted in our niches and in the traffic. So the big corporates are realizing, oh wow, there's a really good website in, say, dog training. It's very specific. So companies in the pet care industry may be interested in advertising on our dog training website. So what it allows us to do is to go into a wide range of niches.
We don't need to understand the niche. We don't need to know about it. But we can get, and we're going to explain. So how does that work? Like what in terms of, we buy these websites. So initially, when we very first got online, we started like everyone else. We thought, okay, yes, we'll build stuff and we'll do all that. And very quickly, because I'm very impatient, I said, okay, I don't want to be building all the time. I want the results right now. So we started looking for ways, can we actually buy assets like websites that already have this advertising revenue or affiliate revenues, and just own them.
And I remember the day you said that to me, because our background is buying and selling traditional bricks and mortar businesses and manufacturing and wholesale businesses that rely on lots of stock. And I remember the day, Liz, you just sort of looked at me over the computer and said, what the hell are we doing? Why don't we just do what we did with our old strategy of buying and selling businesses? Let's just do it with
real estate,
but let's do it with websites. And I think you can see, the cliche, the rest is history. It worked incredibly well for us. It was so much faster.
So that's the next question. Usually people ask, okay, where do you buy these websites? How do you know where to even find them?
Well, things have evolved over the decades. the decade that we've been doing this, when we first started, we just had to buy sites off forums and direct approach.
One off eBay, I remember.
Yeah, one off eBay.
I don't
These
recommend
days,
that now.
you do not do that at all. The good news now is there's online brokers, website brokers, who are very well established in this space, and we strongly recommend you go and check them out, especially if you're starting out, because that's the easiest way, because there's brokers who help manage the deal. And the main ones are that we recommend to our students to go to is flipper.com, Empire Flippers, and FE International, and Quiet Light. So they're
there's a whole range.
There's a whole range. There's lots of others out there that are, because this market's grown, there's more coming along.
Yep.
But for the last decade, really, those guys started out a decade ago. They know their stuff and they curate a lot of the deals. So that
is interesting though, because if you are first starting out though, Flipper's probably the best place to start because it's more like an auction style site. So you can buy websites from a couple of $100. Even less, up to over $1 million. So there's a really nice range, and that is certainly something we would highly recommend. If you want to get into this marketplace, this is the great thing. You can start small. You can start buying a couple of little website assets that are a few $100s, under $1,000, and that means you can get into the marketplace at very low risk, very low investment to start. And so that's definitely something we'd recommend.
Well, just a quick example. Jasmine just started with a $320 website, and she renovated it, fixed it up, and got the sort of returns that it was making a couple of $100 a month from a $300 investment. And so it's a great learning site, but what's really cool is she sold it for $6,000 12 months later. So that's a learning. So that's a perfect journey if you're starting out on this. Buy a small site, learn how to renovate it or fix it up, and then sell it later on and roll the money into a much bigger deal.
So that's another really important point about this passive income website strategy, is that what we're looking for is very specific sites. So we're looking for sites that generate their income as passively as possible, and that's why we pick things like advertising and affiliate revenues, because when a sale is made, we don't have to do anything. Our main focus is just getting that content on there, that traffic, the people visiting the website who are really interested in a specific topic. So that gives us a lot of leverage. And the other thing is the strategy that we use, it's very similar to a real estate strategy. We're looking for these websites that need a bit of reno, they need a bit of love. There's specific things that we do to websites to increase their profits and increase the amount of people finding them. And it's like that diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, I was just going to say, in an ideal world, we find that the quick fixer-uppers, just like you do, maybe you've done real estate renovations before. So we're kind of looking for those websites where we come in and do some really simple fixes, maybe a quick coat of paint and a bit of a tidy up. So we will need to do a bit of work to renovate it. And typically one of the other things we do is change the monetization method on the sites. We get them working a lot better and we get them converting. But then what we do is we basically, in terms of maintenance after there, we're not working on them 9 to 5, are we?
No. So, I mean, obviously we outsource a lot of the stuff that happens on our websites. We recommend for our students though, when you first get into this, it's important to understand how they work and what's happening, because that's going to make you a far better investor, a far better buyer. You'll see the opportunities, you'll see the bargains, you'll be better at doing your due diligence. So this is all stuff that we cover in our training. We've got a free training session, so if you want to go and check out, if you want to learn a bit more about this, you can go and check that out, where we go into a bit more detail about how this all works and what happens. But basically what we're doing at this point is the maintenance and the renovation. What we're trying to do is get that website making as much return as possible. Now, initially, when we buy a website, that's another question that we often get asked: how much do you make out of these websites? How much do you buy them for?
For the good ones, it's like a traditional bricks and mortar business. You're making anywhere from 30% to 100%.
100% return, 30 to 100% return per year. So you heard about Jasmine's $300 website. After renovation, it's making $300 a month, actually. So it's more than 100% returns.
You mentioned
100% returns a month on that one.
Our students are blessing it. Mark, you mentioned Mark, one of the sites he bought for $6,000, and now it makes $6,000 a month, and that's profit. So you can see that when you own a portfolio of these, is the other big part of our strategy, you can quickly replace your income.
Which is what Mark did.
or it's a really nice alternative perhaps to traditional real estate out there. It can become a really nice portfolio.
So we're talking about high cash flow, and also we're risk averse. So when we buy an asset, we want to pay that asset back to ourselves as quickly as possible. So we get an asset that then is ongoing, generating cash flow and income for us.
So I should mention, that's why we like to get in when we've bought the site, get in and do a renovation as quickly as possible. And then after that, it's just ongoing maintenance. Very similar to traditional bricks and mortar businesses if you've done that. So then you sit on that asset for the next, hopefully 5 to 10 years. You don't sell and you just earn the income off it. It's like earning rent.
Yeah. So this is a very specific strategy, one that we've developed because of our background in buying and selling businesses, traditional businesses. We were professional business brokers, and we've worked in mergers and acquisitions and with private equity and venture capital. So we are using a very strong and solid business strategy and investment strategy, but we're applying it to this new digital world. So if you want to find out a bit more, you can do our free training. We've got lots of videos here on YouTube where we're explaining how this all works and how you can get into the marketplace and pick the good deals and actually design your portfolio to suit what you want to achieve out of yours. So if you love this, leave a comment, let us know how you're going, and we'd love to hear from you again.